now ready to look at the levels of organization within different living organisms. And all living things are organized in some fashion or another. So an organism is made of organ systems. So an example of this would be the digestive system. So here you can see we have a whole person, and then within that we can split that into a smaller system, and here we have the digestive system. So you can see stomach, liver, large intestine, all that making up the digestive system. From there, each organ system is composed of individual organisms. Like I said, we have our whole system here, but one organ of that would be the stomach. Each organ then is made up of different tissues, and each of our tissues are made up of cells. So here we have our stomach, and then here you can see the different cells that make up the stomach itself. So an example of this would be smooth muscle tissue, which we will talk about later on. And this all comes about from the hierarchy of organization that comes about from our cell division and differentiation. So as we said in the previous slide, cell division is what brings about all of this differentiation. So all cells come from other cells via cell division from the cell cycle. And hopefully the cell cycle is a term that you remember from biology. The cell cycle in our body cells consists of 3 of our main phases. And the first one of those phases is interphase. And this is where the cell spends most of its life. So our DNA is doubled, meaning that we have sister chromatids. And in interphase, our cell is preparing for division. Then we have mitosis, and this is where the cell actually begins to divide. And this is our PMAT. So it consists of prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. And then lastly, the kind of odd one all off by itself is cytokinesis. And this is where the cytoplasm splits, forming 2 identical daughter cells. So now that our cells have gone through the process of cell division, we can now go through the process of differentiation. And differentiation is the process of stem cells or undifferentiated cells undergoing specialization to become specific types of cells with different functions. So we're going to go through gene expression, and this is what determines what a cell becomes. So what genes get turned on, and that's going to determine what it does. The organelles that make up the cell structure give us insight to the job that the cell specializes in. So if you take anatomy, you'll hear me say this a lot, but our form or our structure dictates the function. So its shape is going to determine what its job is.